Hey there, what's up everyone, Same Time Gaming here. Welcome back for a Division 2 build video. Wow, this feels so weird. I haven't said this for like what 6-7 months, and it feels so weird to say it right now. I actually forgot how to make build videos. I had to watch my own build videos to have an idea that how I was making build videos, which is weird. But yeah, here I am making build videos again. Now I thought about making this build video a couple of days ago, but then I thought, like, let's just wait for it because I think I have a perfect day for this. And what could be the perfect day than today? Because, you know, today is my birthday, so let's just call it a birthday build, and that's what I'm going for. Yeah, let's just call it birthday build video. Yay, let's go. So, yeah, that's basically what I call that. Now, what build is this? Well, almost a year ago I made a merciless build. I'm pretty sure most of you guys will remember because it had a lot of views and people really enjoyed it because it was unique, different, and that's basically what I do on the channel. I don't make meta builds or just make any build and call it a meta. Like, hey, take a look at this SMG. This is the meta SMG build, and I don't do that. I just make weird looking builds, fun to run builds that are just different and they look weird, but they perform very good, and that's basically what I do. And I came up with the merciless build, like I said, almost a year ago. I used Striker on that, and it was pretty solid, and I called it like aimbot, and some people took it literally. So I'm not going to call it aimbot anymore. No, I'm not going to do that. But what I'm doing right now is I'm upgrading that build, which I made, and it's very good. I would say I've tested it for the past week, and it was performing really good. Now, I do make build videos not as a content creator or as a job. I basically make builds as like a player because I play with those builds. Now, if you haven't noticed, when I make my you know, what is it called, vendor resets, when I make the vendor resets, have you seen that most of the time, I should say all the time, I have chameleon weapon on me every time I make a vendor reset? If you can go and watch any of my vendor resets, you'll see I have a chameleon weapon hanging on my back because I always use my improvised chameleon build. When I made it almost like 8 months ago or something like that, I still use that build because of my go-to favorite build. And after that, this is my favorite build. I use it very, very often, especially in terms of group plays, you know, heroic missions or solo heroic missions, group heroic missions, control point farming, anything. I do use this one very often because it has a lot of damage in it. It does have survivability because, like I always say on my build videos, if you can survive anything, you can kill anything. So I'm focusing on that. Of course, you can change to your liking, but this is how I use it. Keep that in mind. This is how I use it. And now, since I said this is an upgrade version of my previous build, so this does have more damage than the previous one. The previous one I used to do like 500k crits, but this one has like 800k crit on the body. And when I'm playing solo, but when I play on a group, the group buffs and everything increases the damage and goes like 920k crits on the body, which is really high as well. Now, if you want a rifle build, a semi-auto rifle build, or any semi-automatic weapon build to crit higher than that, of course you have to go for full DPS, but this is not a full DPS build. Remember that, because we're using merciless, and merciless very hard to handle, and that's why we're going for weapon handling to make that weapon stable on the first place. Because if we can't make it stable, then there's no point of using that particular weapon. And you're gonna say, why are you using that weapon? Because nobody uses it. I haven't seen people use merciless, and I just want to try it. I mean, not try, I do have it. Like I said, you know, I still have that build with me on my loadout. I'm just basically upgrading it to share it with you guys because I played with it and it's really solid. So that's what I'm doing. I'm upgrading my old build, and it's performing better than the one I had. That one's also a bit easier to make because I use striker pieces. But in this one, I'm using high-end pieces. Some of the pieces are like named items and exclusive items, so it will be kind of hard for new players to farm for it. But once you get it, if you want to try it out, if you want to try something unique and different, definitely do that. Trust me, it's really, really good. Doesn't matter if you play solo or group, it's just going to perform very well. Now, a lot of people actually uses Ravenous nowadays, but then again, Ravenous is, I mean, you can say it's a merciless successor or better version of the merciless, but Ravenous is a raid exclusive weapon and it's really hard to get. But where the merciless, you can farm pretty much anywhere, like rifle targeted loot or anywhere, like you can get it from anywhere. And for people who have season pass, you probably have, I think, a ruthless that's also a merciless. Like, it's different name, but they're same weapon. They look different, but they have like same stats and damage and they basically do the same thing. So you probably have a level 1 somewhere on your stash. Go take a look and upgrade that to level 40 and give it a try. So enough chitty chatty. I'm basically installing and fitting more gameplays. That's pretty much what I'm doing. So let me just show you the build over here. So as you can see, this is the build right now. And if you take a look, you're probably going to say that it does look similar to any other DPS build out there. Because here's the thing in this game. If you want to make a DPS build, you have to build the base of the build like this, and that's how you're going to be doing the damage. But then you can change a few things here and there to your liking, to how you want that build to perform, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Now, starting from the specialization, I have the Gunner. Now, one of the reasons why this is a new character and I only have Gunner specialization, which is maxed out, but also very importantly, Gunner gives me 10% of armor on kill. Gunner gives me 10% of weapon handling when I stand still or stay in cover for 1 second, which is important. Also, Gunner regens my ammo fairly quickly, because the only downside in this build is, since I'm spamming my rifle too much, I'm losing a lot of ammo. If I use a high-end rifle with Lucky Shot talent, then I'm not going to lose ammo if I miss my shot. But on this one, doesn't matter if I miss or hit, I will miss my shot. I mean, not miss, basically. I mean, you get the point. So that's why I'm using Gunner. If you want, you can use any specialization. Now, for the weapon, again, it's a merciless weapon. What it does basically has a binary trigger. So when you pull your trigger, you fire a shot. When you release your trigger, you fire another shot. So basically 1 click, 2 shots. But what that does is it stacks up, and once it hits 7 stack, after that you will do 500% of amplified damage, which is multiplicative damage, and then that creates a 7 meter of explosion that deals 500% of weapon damage. So basically, don't have to think about all this stuff. All you have to think is just point and shoot 7 shots, then you will hit an explosion that will hit like 5 to 6 million explosions. So if you can't kill an NPC with 7 shots, the explosion will kill it, because that's going to hit like 5 million. So I think that simplifies enough. Okay, now for the next weapon, the secondary weapon, I went for the infantry MG5. It's the golden one, and there's another MG5 which is black one that comes with 3 mod slots, and this one comes with 4 mod slots, but that has a higher base damage than this one. So if you want, you can use that. I don't have that, so I'm not using it. I'm using this one because it's pretty good stats, you know, as you see. And the talent I have is measured talent. So the half magazine, the top half, will give me 20% of rate of fire, which is going to hit very high, because it have already like 800 RPM, and 20% getting increased on the top half. So that's like a lot of RPM right there. And the bottom half will reduce the RPM, but will give me 30% of total weapon damage. So that's pretty good. Now, if you want, you can use any other LMGs or pretty much any weapon you want. Another LMG, if you want, I would recommend that you use the New Reliable, but don't really use the New Reliable on this particular build, because New Reliable gives you weapon handling 30%, and that's going to be like overkill, like a lot. Seriously, that's a lot of weapon handling. You don't need that. But use the non-named version of this weapon, which is the RPK LMG. So then you can add, let's say, frenzy talent, or you know, measure talent, or killer talent, anything you want. Or you can use SMG or rifles or assault rifles. It's up to you. So yeah, it's your personal choice. Yeah. Now for the build, what is going on now, I would highly recommend to use Coyote Mask if you have the space for it. If your build like your DPS build has the space to use Coyote Mask, do that. Always use the Coyote Mask if you have space for it. Or if your build allows you to use Coyote Mask, just go for it, okay? Because this gives you more crit damage and crit chance depending on which like radius you're standing to the NPCs. Also, this buff applies to your group members, your teammates, so they will get that additional crit damage and crit chance as well, so which is pretty handy. It's really solid item here, the exotic mask, the Coyote Mask. So I'm going for that. Next, for the chest piece, I have this never mind. It's a named chest piece, which is Perfect Brace talent, which gives me 50% of weapon handling when I'm in cover. Now, this chest piece, you cannot farm it. You have to craft it, because this is I think, a Gunner specialization project exclusive. So you have to do the project for Gunner specialization to get the chest piece. And once you get that, you have to craft it, and like that's how you get the Perfect Brace talent. Or if you want, you can just use any other chest piece with just Brace talent. That gives you 45%, by the way. This one gives you 50%. So that's the 5% difference right there. Okay. So that's why I'm using it. Now for the holster, I am going for the Sheshka because that gives me 10% of crit chance. We have weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage. Then for the knee pads, I have the rifle damage here, 10%. I mean, sorry, there's a Fox's Spray. What am I saying? There's a Fox's Spray. That's why I have rifle damage 10%. And it gives me 8% of damage to target out of cover. It's the multiplicative damage, so definitely need that since my primary weapon is a rifle. Then we have crit damage here and weapon damage. Now for the gloves, this is where you have choices. This is where you can use different stuff if you want to. Now for the gloves, I went for Death Grips because Death Grips gives me 10% armor on kill. I have crit damage, weapon damage. It comes with blue core attribute, by the way. The Death Grip always going to come with blue core attribute. You have to change that to armor if you want armor. I mean, sorry, you have to change it to weapon damage if you want weapon damage. So you have to farm one with crit damage or crit chance, something like that. Now this is a Dark Zone exclusive item, so that's, you know, you have to get it from Dark Zone or DZ caches or conflict caches or named item caches, but you can't farm it open world. You have to farm from Dark Zone. So yeah. Now for the backpack, I have the Grupo, which gives me 15% of crit damage. We have weapon damage 15%, we have crit damage, crit chance, and crit damage mod. Now the talent I went for Composure. Most people would say, why not Vigilance? Like Vigilance gives me 25% weapon damage, but when I get shot, it will go away for 4 seconds, and I can't afford that because I don't have much damage on the build. For chest piece, I'm already using Brace Talent, which is not a damage talent. The backpack is the only where I'm going to use an additional talent, like damage talent. So if I go for Vigilance, if I take shot, it will not work for 4 seconds. So I just don't want to use that. But hey, if you want to, it's your choice. You can go for it. But I went for Composure because I'm going to stay in cover anyway with the Brace Talent to be active. So let's go for Composure because that's also be active when I'm in cover. So that's going to force me to be in cover. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to face tank NPCs. It's a medium to long range build. You don't want to face tank NPCs with this. Come on, okay? So that's basically the build, guys. And for the skill, I'm using Healing Drone and Hive. The Healing Drone doesn't have healing stats on it. It's just like I don't have attributes. I'm not attributes, the mods, sorry. I don't have mods to add. I just have damage mods on Healing Drone, which is weird. So that's pretty much the build. And if I show you my stats, I have crit chance 51.5% on the Merciless, which is fine, because Coyote gave me 10% anyway. Plus I have 181% of crit damage, which is very high. Plus Coyote will give me 25% more, so that's a lot of crit damage right there. And when it comes to armor on kill, as you see, I have 145,000, which is like 20% of whatever armor I have. So that's that. That's pretty much the stats. I guess I covered pretty much everything, right? Yeah. I mean, the weapon handling doesn't show up here. It's just 10%. It's not 10%. It's 80% because, like I said, you have 20% weapon handling from the Merciless rifle itself. We have 10% from Gunner when we stay still. Then we have 50% from the chest piece. So that's 80% weapon handling on the build. And we have a lot of damage right there. So I'm going to show you how bad the weapon handling is on the Merciless if you don't stay in cover or don't use Brace Talent. Because right now with the Merciless, if I stand still, oh no, that's the LMG. Right now, if I use the Merciless and stand still, right now I have 20% weapon handling from the Merciless and 10% from the Gunner. If I shoot my weapon, it's still going to bounce. Like you see, it's just dancing. That's not good. It's really not good, trust me. But when I stay in cover, it's gone. It's basically like aimbot. I actually don't want to use that phrase again because on my previous build I said it's an aimbot weapon. Some people took it literally. I just don't want to say that again. But yeah, it's kind of like that because you see there's no recoil. And also good thing about Merciless is you can scope in and, you know, you can pretty much aim what you want. You can just zoom into the far target and just fire like that. It's just, that's how it is. It's just really, really solid. So just give it a go. Let me know how you feel about it. If you haven't tried it already before, you know, whatever the case. If you want to change anything on the build, you can let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear any feedback from you guys. And I would say just try it out. If you have all the pieces, I'm pretty sure if you have DPS build, you have all the pieces. The only thing you might have trouble is the chest piece. You don't have to craft the chest piece. You can use any other chest piece with Brace Talent, like I said. Just use the Merciless like this. it's going to do a lot of damage. Trust me, it does do a lot of damage, and the explosion will kill the Chungus, the heavy NPCs. It will destroy their armor pretty quickly. Doesn't matter if you're playing group or solo. Solo is even better because, you know, in group the NPC has more health and stuff, but solo is just, you're gonna melt things left, right, and center. Trust me. So it's a very good build for solo players. Like if you want to try it out, if you're tired of using like what is it called, a Scorpio shotgun, Hunter Fury, and all that. You know, if you're tired of that, just try this. A very, very fun build. I highly recommend it. It's right now one of my favorite you know, DPS build to use when I especially play solo, or you know, just randomly matchmake players. So I even tried on Raid. It was pretty solid. Unfortunately, I don't have Raid footage because I recently upgraded to Windows 11 and all my freaking footage is gone. But whatever. That's basically a build, and I'm just gonna go because I have to cut my cake. Like, there's no party or anything. It's just with the family and stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna go, and hope you guys will like it. If you liked it, that means I've earned you a like, right? So I'm just gonna leave it to you guys right there to decide what you want to think about this build. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace.